Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today is going to be part 5 of my Let's Play of To End All Wars. This is the final part of my first stream for the game. So the first stream I did was about 2 hours long. This is part 5. I think we're about 2.5 hours into the gameplay, but this is the end of that very first stream, which took place on August 26th. We have just taken the city of Metz in a great battle that was fought at the end of turn 4, the first major battle on the Western Front, and it was a French victory. I believe, although I didn't know this at the time, that the Germans are still besieged in the city with what's left of their army after losing that battle. And we've also taken Colmar, Thionville, and Mulhausen, so we've made some early successes in the Alsace-Lorraine region. But that's where we stand right now, and yeah, this isn't going to be the last part of the entire series, though. Don't worry, I'm going to be streaming again soon. Haven't been able to do it. I was in the ER the other day, so I've been a little bit under the weather, if you will, as far as being able to stream. I had to cancel a few scheduled streams, unfortunately, but I'm going to stream again shortly, and maybe even by the time this video is out, I'll have some more material, so there might not even be a break. If there is a break of a couple of days, you know, it'll be right back up. I know I've been pretty regular, pretty much every day, posting some material on YouTube, so look for that. Also, if you are interested in possibly catching that stream, I will post a notice beforehand on my Twitter account, Historical Gamer. You can find me over on Twitter, or you can just follow me on Twitch. I'm the Historical Gamer over there on Twitch. The links are in the description if you just want to go to the page if that's something you're interested in. If not, just keep on watching here. I definitely enjoy you know, a lot of the feedback's been very positive, and I've had a great time. But that's enough of me jibber-jabbering. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get back into the stream. Get there in time. Can these guys move over to the offensive? No. Whatever this middle thing is, I don't... Maybe that's initiative or something like that? So I think we're going to have to move troops into Vasily-Mosul or whatever. They're going to take 14 days. I guess we can try and force march them. And this reserve unit arrived, got off their trains. We're going to go ahead and send them in. Try and synchronize them. They probably won't be able to force march, it doesn't look like. Can they move by rail? Will that make them go quicker? 15 days. Sweet, let's do that. It cuts some time. They're at 11 days, though, so they'll be fine. Man, the British have lost a lot of their firepower. So the BEF has taken a beating. I probably could use some reinforcements here. And I'm going to check the notes in the bottom right. Don't worry, I won't forget this time. Although I don't see them. That's the problem, is they're covered up. How do I... There we go. Alright, so let's check out these notes. The Third Boer War. Sweet! Background. When Great Britain entered the Great War, it brought its dominions into war as well, including South Africa. A large number of Boers who had fought the British a decade earlier had ancestral ties with Germany and little love for the British. Throughout 1914, loyal South African forces were tied down, suppressing the revolts that occurred in Boer territory. Great Britain must be at war, that is, the Third Boer Uprising in South Africa. Troops will be required to suppress the rebellion. You go, Boers, because I can use you. So Portugal's more entity, neutral sentiment toward, what are these countries? Holland, Greece, Belgium are all moving toward the Central Powers. That's not good. United States moving towards us. And yeah, so anyway, those are scripted events, it appears. I don't know, is there any way for me to just, like, get rid of these? I guess these just show up for this turn. So, and battles, so... We won a battle against the Central Powers in the region of Metz and gained the region. Movements and restrictions. So these units are arriving there. The training of the 5th Infantry Division is nearly done near Reims. And system transport ships in Atlantic. Transported supplies. So it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on here. Ferdinand de Langdacari's been blamed for having a defeat against the enemy. But we won! Why would you... Maybe he's the guy who withdrew? I don't know. Hey, we won the Battle of Metz, so ease off on the guy, alright? Yay, go Boers. All right, so our troops in Southampton are still being trained, are they not? Yep. We're going to combine these two forces, though. So we've got some reserves or some troops which will be coming over from Britain soon. We can bring the home forces over. I don't know if they're any good. Doesn't look like they have much in the way of firepower. Where is Kitchener anyway? Kitchener's still in England. Commander of all the British Army is still in England. All the BEF is already in France. Scroll. One thing I will say about these types of games, they don't... When you got two monitors, it can make scrolling to the right difficult. So, Morganhow, I'm not sure if we're going to have a strong enough force. The enemy's going to have about 100,000 men there, potentially being able to bring in more troops from Scarborough. So it might be moving too quick, too fast, potentially. And apparently we left Thionville totally unguarded. That's not good. So this army... Well, the enemy doesn't really have any troops there, but still, that's not very smart. We probably shouldn't do that. I don't know what to do. I think we'll send the BEF up to Thionville. They can kind of rest and regroup there, hopefully away from any main German attack. Although I'd like them for their quality in an attack on Morganhow, but still. I think this French army in Metz, whatever this army is, it's pretty beat up. They're all pretty beat up. Whatever this is, the Tromsø army is pretty darn strong. They're going to follow up and attack Morganhow. We're going to launch them toward Morganhow. We'll give them a aggressive standpoint. Doesn't look like the enemy really has anything that can immediately launch a counterattack against us in Metz, so they should be fine. That army is going to take 7 days. Sweet. So hopefully we can follow this up with another victory again. I think I did made a good decision to kind of limit my focus to this particular. These guys still have their ultra aggressive stance. They do not. Good. I think I did a good job to limit my focus in this video or this campaign to just the French, because I don't think I would have known nearly enough to be able to play as the Germans and fight everywhere. As much fun as maybe that would be. But why can't these guys go over into the offensive? Are they limited supply or what? Do we not have enough objective points? Like, why are we in a defensive posture? Move. There. So apparently these smaller units are not able to do that. I'm not sure about that. The Premier Army can, though. I'm hoping the Germans don't have much in the way of defenses at Freiburg. You can see here, I believe these are entrenchment levels. 1, nothing in Morganhow because they just got driven back. And they're starting to build up. So our offensives are probably about to come to an end. But if we can take Morganhow, whatever it's called, we'll have a pretty successful start to the war of taking Thionville, Metz, Morganhow, hopefully Colmar and Mulhausen. The only cities we won't have taken are going to be Scarborough and Strasbourg. So we'll do that, and I think we'll probably end the stream there after the next turn, so I can maybe do a little bit more research about what I want to do going forward. And yeah, but we'll go ahead and proceed to the next turn. Okay. So I think load times have improved a little bit. They're still a little bit long. I think that may turn some people off that it takes a while for turns to proceed. Hopefully we get a battle here in Morganhow. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. And we haven't. I shouldn't say this. I was going to say we haven't lost a major battle yet, but yeah. Probably shouldn't say that, right? I'm surprised so many of you stuck with me. I don't feel like I'm very entertaining, but maybe it's just because it's the first day of the game being out. So I appreciate everyone who's tuned in to watch. You know, I know long load times can kind of be something that's not fun to watch in a stream, but we'll see. Yeah, I jinxed it. Not liking that I'm seeing it looks like the enemy now has 700 troops between Sarrebruck and Morhange. Hopefully it's not. It doesn't look like it's a fortress city like the like Metz was though, so we may be able to make up for our weaker strength now that we're diverting forces. I guess the main thing is we got to hope that the 600 troops, the 600 firepower from Metz meet up with everyone else kind of getting there at once. Otherwise we could be in some trouble. I'm really glad we chose to withdraw to allow time for other troops to arrive though, because I think we would have gotten crushed if we hadn't done that at Metz. So I like that there's kind of an element of tactics and strategy involved in the actual battle being fought as well. Well, thank you, party. Now let's fight. Come on. I can't help but thinking that the Battle of Metz, where I withdrew and let other units march to the sound of the guns, maybe Grouchy should have. Oh, I didn't change those troops' disposition in the south. I don't think that's not good. Maybe Grouchy would have done well to learn that, if I'm pronouncing his name right. And Waterloo might have turned differently for Napoleon. Okay, so there's another fight going on in Metz. The enemy has about 200 strength. We've got over 1,000, so we should be comfortable here to have a wave assault here and defeat them. Whoa. I was worried there. That looked like it was... No. Go back the other way. Oh, we won. But we lost over 90,000 men. Good lord. Stop attacking us, Germans. Looks like they launched a counterattack here in Metz. We drove them back, but holy cow. We lost more than double their forces. We still have a... They've only got about 60,000 men left in the region, though, versus our 300,000 men, but still, that's not a good result. I don't think that army is going to be moving south now. Or maybe it is, but I don't know if they'll get there in time to fight a battle this turn. I guess, yeah, maybe Human Wave was the wrong decision to make, huh? And we took Freiburg, yay! Advancing into Germany proper. Yeah, fine. Human Wave. I should have masked my fire. Why does Metz still have a German flag? Is it the fortress there that we're fighting? Should I not be pulling troops out? Is that a really bad decision? Looks like we've got them besieged, so I probably should keep those troops there and not be pulling troops off. I did not realize we had them besieged. But that'd be awesome if we could destroy that entire army that was 160,000 men. That could go a long way to winning a victory. It is besieged. So I'm being really stupid and pulling a whole bunch of troops out. I think I can stop them though, right? Whoa, I don't think I wanted to do that. No, actually that's fine. Okay, cool. So that unit, why I moved him with a locked unit, I don't know. Did I move in with a unit that's locked? Oh, it's just an army dump. Okay. There's another unit moving south. We're going to stop you guys moving south. So we're going to keep these troops here then. We'll keep them in... We'll keep them in Metz. Looks like these are getting a command penalty or something like that. So these guys have what? What's their firepower? Firepower, where are you? So I don't know if we're moving enough troops into Morganau to take it. No. Don't you dare. Why? I don't want to retreat if engaged. What I want to do is I want to just overwhelm them. Let's assault the enemy who's besieged. Meanwhile, the British, hopefully they can regain some strength here up in Thionville, kind of away from the main theater. Can I move these guys in there? Into Metz by rail? Yes, I can. All right. Sweet. 16 days, 12 days. So maybe we'll get some troops there in time. That army's got an aggressive approach. Hold at all costs. Have you guys hold at all costs. I don't know if I'm setting these postures up all that well. We'll see. I think the enemy's got to be so weak that they hopefully can't break through us. I don't think we're that strong either, though. It looks like our guys are being worn down, too. But Freiburg is now ours, so I think what we'll want to do here, because it does border that place, we'll want to move some of these reserves forward. So move that corps. We'll move 2 corps forward to join the force at Freiburg, and then we'll move 1 corps north to Colmar. That way, if the enemy does weaken their position at Strasbourg, we can attack north. And I think we'll play one more turn. We'll let this turn go through, and then we'll go ahead and let the result play out. And I think we'll move these guys over because I think they'll move into Metz if there's a battle there. So, yeah, I'm not doing anything in terms of raising troops. That's going to be a problem, I think. So that's what we got to do here real quick. Let's go ahead and raise some troops. Let's get some French troops in. Infantry, regular infantry, we'll raise them at Nancy. And I guess here. And then we can raise some reserves. Again, it looks like you're limited to raising 1 French reserve unit per hex, at least for probably lesser populated areas. I know I raised a few in Paris, and then we'll raise some extra artillery. Field artillery, 1 unit there. Medium artillery, I guess we can't raise anything near the front. And we'll raise a couple more British units as well, because we got a whole bunch of money. Are the Germans still in the Atlantic shipping box? I don't understand that. Are they raiding us, or it doesn't seem like they're doing anything there. But our Navy does have an aggressive stance there, so I don't know. Maybe that's probably German merchant shipping attempting to get through the blockade, now that I think about it. We'll raise a field battalion in London. I think we can raise a few extra infantry. I don't really care about cavalry right now. We're not out in an open field operation here, so there's no sense in doing that. And then we've got to have a Channel Fleet battleship squadron. We got a dreadnought squadron in here. So these guys are a liner squadron. They can transport up to 40. Meanwhile, we raised this. These guys are still training, it looks like, so they're not ready yet. And we'll go ahead and check here what's happened this turn. One of our ambassadors increased support in Japan, in Greece, in Italy. Huzzah! The uprising in South Africa has caused financial and civil unrest. Minus 50 victory points, 50 state funds, minus 1 alignment. Each turn there's a 2% chance infantry cavalry you have in the region to quell the rebellion. Only 2%? Does it mean I need to send more troops there? France is providing me with diplomatic aid. Russia is providing me with diplomatic aid. Neutral sentiment has moved toward the Central Powers in Belgium, Greece, and Holland. Really? Belgium? Really? That seems far-fetched. Toward the Entente in the United States, Japan, Portugal, so that's all good. Okay. Again, I wish it would tell me more about what's happening on the Eastern Front. It doesn't seem to be doing that. Movements, training, gain control of Freiburg. Yay, victory, yay, seniority, yay. General is congratulated for his victory against the enemy. New seniority. What general? Whoever's in command of Metz, I suppose. So Metz is still besieged. Morganau might be able to be taken. We'll see. I think that's going to be about it for this turn. Let's go ahead and move it forward one more turn. This will be the last turn, whatever happens. Yeah, totally going to be short war, Commissar. You know, we've moved like 3 hexes in like 3 months. Although, if we destroy the Germans at Metz, that'll help. You know, 160,000 of their frontline regular troops out of the fight. It's got to help. And if they're just going to stay stationary in Strasbourg, maybe we can advance north and take Saarbrücken and cut off their rail line to the south. Maybe move around and flank them. Yep, that's wishful thinking, but who knows? And it's off to the waiting game again. Yes, I'm so close to the Austrian border. Well, you're right. I guess I'm not that far from the Austrian border. It's kind of being sarcastic. I don't think it would be very wise to send my army on some fool's errand out there without any way to protect its supply line. Although it is nice that it's advancing along a railway line from Mulhausen into Freiburg. Do you think the Swiss would let us use that railway that connects the French railways to the German railways at Mulhausen? Because it doesn't look like we've got a direct rail link to France, but, you know, if they want to let us use the Swiss rail lines, they're neutral, right? They'd be good to go ahead and let us use their stuff. If not, we can always send an army in. We could declare war on Switzerland. I'm sure that would go over real well. In all honesty, it feels tempting. Just because of that rail line, I've got to imagine that would help a lot. Well, you know, they've got a nice railway there, so I don't care if they're neutral. I want that railway. I feel like that'd be really useful in driving my offensive toward Friedrichshafen and then against the Austrians. But it's also totally implausible because then the Germans would just advance south from Strasbourg, cut me off, and destroy me real easily. Hopefully we can end the siege of Metz here this turn. That is one of the German war plans. At least it was in World War I Gold, and I believe that it's actually an option in this game as well. So there's a battle near Metz. The enemy firepower is virtually nothing. Should we go with human wave again? I think we'll just go with balanced. Whoa. Man, it always surprises me there. It like jumps down toward red like I'm about to lose. So, the enemy has lost 19,000. We lost 25,000. Why do we lose so many more men than them? We had a balanced approach. The enemy had virtually no firepower, and we still lose more men. But the enemy only has, what, less than 40,000 men left? So, Metz is going to fall, or at better, very shortly. And we won a victory at Morganau as well. So the enemy lost 4,000, we lost 5,000. But they only had about 60,000 men there. So I'm guessing we've besieged them into Morganau as well. Looks like the enemies are deploying troops to our front, though. It says the enemy corps arrived in Saarbrücken and another place up there. So the enemy is bringing reinforcements in, probably because they're in a lot of trouble at this point in time. We've taken all but Saarbrücken and Strasbourg, though. So this is it's a pretty I know they're entrenched, but, you know, when you outnumber the enemy that much, I feel like it might be okay. You look at a lot of the World War I battles, and a lot of the battles were very close on casualties. Didn't matter if you were the attacker or not, because there were counterattacks that had to be launched once the first line fell, and you lost just as heavily to counterattack the enemy as you did when they attacked you. So I would have to imagine some of that's going on with these fortresses near Metz. But we're into late November here. Looks like the BEF is regaining some of its strength up near Thionville. Is that another army that's arrived now? Murdra. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. Yikes. Now I've got a huge penalty for... Goodness, I didn't... Form your own army, dude. There. Whoa. Don't go over there. Stay in Morganau. And take command of something. Why is it not... Really? Provided, okay. We're still... I think that's a better balance. Okay, so I can't tell if the enemy's besieged here. It doesn't look like they are. Let's see, Metz, pillaged, 95% ownership. It doesn't look like they're besieged anymore. Maybe we totally wiped that army out, although there's another enemy unit here. Still pretty certain we can hold out and beat them with all of our forces here. We definitely still outnumber them. With some troops coming in via rail. It doesn't look like they're besieged in Morganau either. So, yeah. The enemy's now isolated to Saarbrücken and Strasbourg in the south. I know we got a notice about a new unit arriving in Saarbrücken up here in the north. We can take a look here and see what we've got. The uprising in South Africa has been brought to a halt. All right. Gaining more diplomatic support in Italy. Bulgaria is moving closer to the Central Powers. Has been removed from the event's options. So I didn't see that as an event option. After several failed attempts, BEF stopped the assault in region Metz. Okay. We won a battle against the Central Powers in Metz. Won a battle against the Central Powers in Morganau. Doesn't look like there's really anything else of note. Construction and training are almost done. Oh, the Central Powers has accepted the Ottoman Empire into their alliance. So the enemy now has the Ottomans. Great. Okay, so the Ottomans are now at war with us, and I think that's going to make a good stopping point. Yeah. Anyway, so now we're at war with the Ottomans, just as things started seemingly going well on the Western Front, with over 160,000 enemy soldiers destroyed. We lost more than that, so I guess maybe that wasn't a great success. But we took Metz, so that's going to be a great place to defend from. We took Thionville, and the enemy's kind of in a salient here in Saarbrücken and Strasbourg. Well, maybe not. Yeah, I guess, sort of. Maybe a little bit of a salient. We've also taken Freiburg, so if we take a look here at the owner of the regions, we're starting to advance. We could threaten. We just need to take these 3 provinces, and we could cut off the bulk of the German army in the west. Easier said than done. They're not allied to us? What do you mean? They should be loving the French. They should be welcoming them home. And yeah, so far everything is good as far as supply lines are concerned. Again, things look okay on the Western Front. I have no clue what's going on the Eastern Front. That is somewhat annoying. Looks like Lutz is in German hands. Looks like most of Poland has fallen. Warsaw is still in Russian hands, although it appears to be besieged. So things don't look like they're going all that well for the Russians. Looks like the Austrians have driven... Get rid of this map. Get rid of that map. Because the Austrians are starting to drive in as well. So a little bit of progress here against the Russians. You can see they're advancing. Holy cow. I don't know what that means. Network of rail regions. So it looks like they might have taken Riga or threatening to take Riga. The Russians are in trouble, and we're not doing enough to help, I'm guessing. But I don't think I'm strong enough. I'm too disorganized after all these attacks to keep attacking further. I mean, we could probably take Lorient and Saar and move forward to maybe threaten Trier and Saarbrücken. That might be an option. But I guess I'll have to kind of reconvene and rethink about what we're doing here for the next video. So that's going to end the stream here. We've been going about 2 hours and 10 minutes roughly. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. But yeah, I'm going to cut it off here. I'll chop this up if you missed any of it and throw it on YouTube in the next couple of days. And until next time, I might stream later tonight. We're talking real late, maybe like 2 or 3 o'clock Central Time, till maybe around 5. Maybe. I might not. We'll see. If I do, it'll be on YouTube and you'll be able to watch it here later. If I don't, then I'll stream tomorrow afternoon, probably around the same time. Watch me on or follow me on Twitter at Historical Gamer. I'll let you know what I'm going to do there if I decide to stream or if I don't tonight. I certainly am planning on doing it tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, probably around the same time, 12 to about 2. I appreciate everyone coming out and watching. And until next time, and it's not Leningrad yet because there is no Lenin, but I don't know the name of the city yet. Or St. Petersburg, isn't it? Aren't they the same thing? Leningrad and St. Petersburg? Anyway, thank you for coming out and watching. And until tonight or tomorrow, I guess it'll be tomorrow either way, this is the Historical Gamer signing out. Alright guys, and since I've already more or less said goodbye, I appreciate you tuning in here for part 5. As I said, that was the end of the first stream, so some of that stuff at the end may have been a little bit unnecessary as far as kind of the timing of everything. Obviously that hasn't all played out exactly as I would like, but even with that said, I am going to be streaming here again shortly, so the link for my Twitch is down in the description. My Twitter is also there where I'll give any kind of updates. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It's possible by the time this is posted I may already have streamed again and have some more material and therefore be ready to go. And if not, there may be a few days delay, but everything will continue here shortly, hopefully. So I appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.